Yeah, I've known Jake. I've known you for a long time, man.
Yeah.
And I realized that the other day. I saw a post from you, and I was like, "Oh, that guy, that dude." And then I was like, "I've known you for a while now."
Yeah, it's been like a long time.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Glad
It's
we're all
weird to
old
think
friends.
about that.
Well, and you know what's funny is I haven't seen Dom in a while because there hasn't been any conventions.
Yeah, we would meet at conventions. That's how we met and got to know each other, and then kept seeing each other, and then those stopped. But then as soon as like I got busy with bands, he got busy with bands, but I start hearing about his bands, this one included, and then now none of it happened.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
now we can't meet it either.
yeah.
Because I remember being at Monsterpalooza last year and just walking around, and I was like, "That's Dom."
Yeah.
And welcome to the Lousy Advice podcast.
Just jumping in.
Because I'm running this today.
Please.
Yeah, Shelby's daddy for this
running
episode.
this today, and this is Mommy's first time, so be nice.
Be nice to me. This is the Lousy Advice podcast. Welcome to another episode. This is my radio voice, and you know what? We're just going to dive in. I'm Eric.
I'm Shelby.
And I'm Jake.
And this week, we have Dominic Davi of Tsunami Bomb of Alternative Tentacles. Dom, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing very well. Should I do a radio voice too? I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, do your best. You have a podcast. You do your best podcast voice.
I could, or I could do it like one of those old times, like I'm doing very well here in Berkeley, California.
Where the
Thank you very much for having me on your show.
The mic is really shitty coils, and you have to scream into it to get any sort of sound resonance. Like, oh god, yeah.
This just in: we have so many opinions to share.
We have. These opinions are for the public. So this week, we're doing a favorite of our... I don't know. I like AFI a lot. We're doing AFI is the episode. A Fire Inside, if you will.
Oh! You're not supposed to tell them that. Now, what's my trivia question going to be?
Was that your trivia question?
It's fine. Now you have to pick from the other two things.
Wait. What is the trivia question? Because I actually can...
You'll know.
What was the official... What was it going to be?
It's fine, because it's still going to be there. It's fine. Because I don't need that answer.
Amazing.
Okay, so I got to tell a little...
Because I know the name they originally had for that.
I think I know what it is,
Well, then he might have the upper hand. I guess we'll have to wait and
Ooh,
see.
okay. I'm really excited to hear this.
Because I think Brendan Kelly just told a story about that original name on his podcast, like a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
oh, that's funny. No, I was... so I'm Tsunami Bomb and myself were from Petaluma, California. So the Phoenix Theater is where all these shows happen. That's how a ton of bands were born. And the Ukiah kids would come down, and AFI was definitely one of them. I am going to reveal something that Oubliette, my keyboard player, would want me to make sure to mention, is that I got AFI confused for a long time and thought they were this crappy pop punk band that would come to Phoenix Theater, and I confused them, and she got so mad at me when I was like, aren't they like a pop punk band or something? And she's like, oh, how dare you.
Amazing.
And, she would never let me forget that I thought they were like some weird pop band.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I always get this band confused with Avenged Sevenfold. I don't know why.
Really?
I don't like either of them.
Really?
Yeah.
They're very different. I mean, that's
very
interesting.
Yeah, the singer of that band's mom hypnotized me at the State Fair in Sacramento one year. What?
Did that?
That was a thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I went to the State Fair, and this lady was on stage doing a hypnotist show, and she's like, hey, do you hear this opening song? And it was Avenged Sevenfold, the one.
Was it Backcountry?
Backcountry?
Yeah.
Backcountry?
And she's like, this is my son's band. And me and Travis looked at each other like, what the fuck?
Tsunami Bomb took Avenged Sevenfold on their very first tour of the South.
No, you did not. Is that real?
They're I haven't seen them in years, but we are very good friends with them back in the day.
No shit.
And it's really funny because like AFI was kind of Tsunami Bomb's mentors. They kind of took us under their wing and helped us out. Like Hunter put out our first, like we put out a split 7-inch on our own, and then Hunter saw us and then put out a 7-inch Mayhem on the High Seas on his label Checkmate Records. And so like AFI kind of became like took us under their wing, and like Tsunami Bomb's initial fan base was based out of AFI, which is
Whoa.
why it's really funny that I'm going to get saucy about them today on this show. So, but yeah, I have ties to both Avenged Sevenfold and AFI,
How
and it's
funny.
really
That-
funny that you confuse them, because knowing these people, they're nothing alike.
They're the
Like,
Yeah,
other than
I mean
they
that's
wear
because
black.
I
They all
don't.
wear black.
They all wear black, yeah. And I mean, musically, they
make
couldn't be
sense.
more
I make
different too. Musically, they're just so far
Oh, I wouldn't know.
from one another.
I think that you're just completely immune to this. Yeah, I don't know.
No
This
clue.
is what was this? This
She's-
is like the share episode for Jake. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Or the Blink-182 episode for me, or
Yeah.
the Yeah Yeah Yeahs episode for me, or most of the episodes that I don't play on for me.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason if we're not playing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Jake. Why don't you tell us about your credentials then? What are your credentials to draft this list?
I feel like I'm like a late bloomer with them, and the reason that I really got into them is because they like inspired probably, or they're at least a big influence on one of my favorite bands of all time, the Scatterfall. Like there's so much of that AFI sound in there in that band, and so I
Scattered
kind of,
Fall is one of your favorite bands of all time.
oh yeah, and I like
that's amazing. Sorry.
yeah, I love that band. And so it's like a weird retroactive thing where it's like, like you're looking at what kind of sounds like very similar to this thing, it's just I just went back and started looking at things. Honestly, like Brian was the biggest impetus to be like, hey, you should check out this record, and that's how I kind of like got into it from there.
I love that you just dropped Scattered Fall's name in a podcast in 2020.
Of course, I'm always gonna do that. Dude, if I'm not dropping Scatterfall, Lobstrosities, or Hudson Criminal like once a week, I'm like
That's
not
true.
doing my best.
I love those bands. I love
Yeah, they're all great.
Monstrosities. Like,
Yeah.
I got one of those 7 inches that came out that Mida put out. I snagged one.
Yeah, killer.
It's I have things to tell you about that after.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll talk
yeah,
after.
for sure.
All right, Eric.
Yes.
Thank you, Jake, for talking about things that I don't know about. This is very normal for me.
I love those. So before we started, Joey was like, "I'm gonna keep things on track. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna be like on it." And so I'm loving the energy.
All right, Eric.
Yes.
Now that you've called me out on the pod, it's because you guys can't veto me today. I have all the power.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
Yes,
use
sir.
it. Eric, tell us about your credentials.
So I'm also a late bloomer a little bit. Oh my god, I'm so young. No, I didn't really get into them until later. Like my sister, when Sing the Sorrow came out, she had that record, and I remember her being really into it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I didn't hear really anything from them until December Underground, when Miss Murder was like the big thing, and that album was like huge. And then they did that big tour. What was it, like Say Us An Entire Army or something? And like that was like the big deal. So then they were kind of on my radar, but it didn't really like resonate with me. And then it was after that I started listening to like Very Proud of Ya or Answer That or Black Sails, or I heard the All Hallows EP. One of my friends showed it to me, and I was like, "Oh, this is AFI? That's cool. What the fuck?" Like I had no clue that they had such a history.
It's not all just Miss Murder.
Yeah, well, that's what I wasn't aware. And then I saw them on the Crash Love tour, which I have a lot to say about that album. I saw them on that tour, and that was actually my introduction to Ceremony, because Ceremony was the opening band on that tour, and I'd never heard of them. And that was fucking amazing. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life. That set at the Catalyst in Santa Cruz, them opening for AFI on that tour, Crash Love, incredible. And I was like, oh, I should listen to more hardcore. And then I did. It was so good. Yeah, so that's my deal.
We love to see it.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, totally. I had seen AFI come up for years around the Phoenix Theater as they'd play, but they were just kind of in the background. But around the Black Sails era, when they got Hunter on bass and Jade on guitar, seeing that and then watching the crowds react to them was just sort of like, it fundamentally changed our approach to Tsunami Bomb. Like, we completely changed how we approached live shows after that. To this day, it has affected us, because we're just watching them come out and just tear it up, like Davy Jesus walk over the crowd and like people singing along. It was absolutely unbelievable. So yeah, they were really helpful for Tsunami Bomb. Their fans embraced us, and that's gave Tsunami Bomb a big start.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited you're on this episode, Dom. This is gonna be so cool.
I feel like we have we like really tend to get people who are like just pretty close to these bands who we're drafting just to like, I don't know.
It's so fun.
Make you rub your friend's nose in it or something. I don't know. It almost feels mean.
It's it's drama, and we love
dramatic,
it.
Yeah.
It's drama.
I can get in trouble with what I'm about to say tonight. I got
yes.
cool.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen. Channel this energy.
I'm gonna
do starting.
Okay.
Do I have to say the hello and the welcome to?
No.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want. You're in charge.
All right, we are going to be getting started with Tune Draft, a game in which members of Lousy Advice or guests, Dominic, will competitively collaborate to create artist or genre-centric best of lists. We have yet to create a genre-centric best of list. Don't know. Why not?
That's the next episode.
Oh, it is,
It is the next episode.
Oh, okay. You're right.
That's so cute. Okay, I'm excited.
I will be your draft commissioner, Shelby, and today drafting will be Eric, Jake, and Dominic. So we're talking about AFI, and we gave you our credentials, and now we are here to tell you what the best songs are. I agree with every answer. I also disagree with every answer. So let's get to...
That's very political of you.
Yes. So let's get to the rules. So I will be asking you trivia questions pertaining to tonight's topic, and it will be pertaining to tonight's topic, as we don't do that sometimes. And honestly, I just couldn't even think of anything to do for AFI that would, like, what do I do? Things that start with A, F, and I? I don't know.
You could. Or famous fires.
So I'm not going to make you all go fuck yourselves. I'm going to ask you about AFI.
Gorge.
I feel like I should say a quick disclaimer.
Yes.
Disclaim.
All real quick. All opinions that I profess, I do actually like this band and these people, but I am incredibly critical of the things I love. So everything I say, I just want to be clear. I like these people. They're good people, and I love this band, but I'm critical of the things I love.
This is going to be the quote in our post.
Yes. Oh, well, that's the thing. A lot of these episodes is very much like, we love these things, so we want to talk about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, AFI is one of my favorite bands. Like, just, they're so good.
I mean, they've at one point more than.
Ooh, here it comes.
This is what I'm interested to hear, because I said this when we talked about the episode. I feel like this is like a band of like, you either like all of it a lot or you like a very specific timeline of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I think we're gonna see, like, it's be interesting to see like what the different timelines are as far as the picks. Like,
I can already tell from just the things you guys have said what timelines are lining up here.
Davey Havoc, if you're listening to this, ding that bell.
Please subscribe to our podcast.
Give us 5 stars.
Yeah.
Listen to our band because we are a band. Lousy Advice is a band. Lousy Advice is a band.
We are a band.
Lousy Advice is a band.
You'll love it. Honestly, you'll love it.
We got that out of our system, so now we don't have to talk about it again. Okay, so there are 3 of you drafting. One person will be drafting into positions 11, 10, 6, and 3, which is technically worst placement, but you get a lot of picks, and you get the coveted, Jacob, veto override. So, that being said, each of you has a veto. I have not been keeping track. Eric, Jake, do either of you have the extra veto? Don't you freaking lie to me.
I
don't think I do.
I don't think either of you do, because last week's episode,
we got saucy.
It was a slaughter.
It was a slaughter. Also, I was the bad pick queen last week. What was up with that?
That's very rare.
I usually have amazing picks and I have great aesthetics, so I don't know what happened.
It's because Jessica and I are on that same wavelength.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. What was the band last time?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maps.
Okay.
Maps.
I mean, that was our
was
number one.
Number one.
Yeah. I mean, of course it is. I mean,
It's gotta be.
It's not just a hit song; it's a good song.
It's a great
everybody's
song.
favorite rock band song.
It's amazing.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Everyone's favorite.
So each of you has one veto. Dominic, if you do not use your veto, you get to roll it over. If we ever have you back, we will be having guests back for different bands at certain points. So you can keep that in mind.
I sent a few bands. This was just the one that was picked.
Exactly.
We'll come back.
Fun enough. Okay. So if you get that 11, 10, 6, and 3 position, you also get the veto override. So, for example, Eric picks a song. We say, Eric, that song sucks. Veto. Dominic, you love that song. You say, I override that veto, and it stays. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes.
Did I explain
Boom.
that all right?
That was great.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoever gets the second trivia question correct gets to pick between what
The-
am I saying?
They just get to
What
pick
am I
between the
saying?
other picks. Yeah.
You get to pick between the other picks.
It's
in
like somebody
this
trying to
case-
explain how to play Magic to me. I'm
No,
like,
I'm
I
so
love
sorry. This is
Okay,
my
tap
You
the card
tap the mana.
and do what with what?
All right. We're going to simplify this. You get to pick between 11, 10, 6, and 3, or 9, 8, 5, and 2, or 7, 4, and 1, which is the least amount of choices, but you get to pick the number one AFI song that exists on this planet. Nobody can dispute it. AFI themselves could not text you and say the number one song is this because they'd be wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, we do have to. I don't know why we did this to ourselves, but we've adorned the gatekeeper caps for ourselves to be the gatekeepers of the discography. Like
if
a
anybody
bunch
would
of
like my
jerks.
key to this discography, it's for sale.
Oh, I'll buy it.
That's not fair. I've never listened to AFI. So like I said, each of you will also be receiving a veto, which you can use to knock a song choice from its current placement on the list.
Cool.
Either because you don't think it belongs on the list or because it belongs higher up. So if you veto a song, it can still end up on the list. Whatever the case be, it can no longer be replayed in that spot, so that drafter must choose another song. And then I think that brings me to the end of my script. So I'm going to ditch this. I'm better off book.
Let's do it.
Let's get to some trivia.
Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
How do we answer? Is it just first come first serve,
It's
or
first
do
come,
you
first
ask?
serve, and we're
Yes.
biased, so you better be
So
quick.
so you got to say your name, and then she picks whoever she thinks she heard first. And that again, she can be totally biased. Like,
I'll
Okay.
try not to be. All right, Eric. As you said earlier, you referred to AFI as a fire inside. They are also known as, there are two choices here. They have gone by 3 different abbreviations of this name at some point in their lives. Name one of the 2 that Eric didn't say. So you can't say a fire inside.
Okay.
That is no longer.
Dominic.
Go ahead.
Well, you could call them the American Film Institute, but you would call them a bunch of fucking idiots because that's what they were, with a bunch of being one word. That was the first version of the name.
that's sick.
I almost feel like since it's not on my list, I have to believe you. Because you know them.
It is. It was originally
Hold
a
on.
bunch of fucking idiots with
Was-
a bunch of being one
so
word.
the one that Brendan Kelly said on his podcast was all for it. That was the one that he had said on there.
Also
That
wrong.
one too, but that's
Yeah.
that's baloney.
What the fuck,
Like,
AFI?
I mean,
Your
they were saying a
Wikipedia's
bunch of stuff,
wrong.
but a bunch of is ABUNCHA, a bunch of fucking idiots. That was the first version of their name, AFI. But I don't think Davey ever really loved that.
do you think?
version.
Do you think Bunch of Crunch stole that idea?
All right. Dying Scene
Maybe.
says that that's correct, so I'm going to give that to Dominic.
Okay, Dom.
Would you like the positions? I lied. I need the iPad.
I don't. I mean, I got that there are number combinations, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
So
I'll
I
read
have
them
them-
back
I
to
have
you.
them memorized, but I'll let Shelby read them off.
So you can choose between 11, 10, 6, and 3, which is the most amount of picks, but the lowest on the list. Or
Okay.
you could choose 9, 8, 5, 2, which is similar. I don't know why we consider the other one better. I guess because you get a higher...
Because you get the veto
pick.
override.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Or you get 7, 4, and 1, which is only 3 picks, but you get number 1.
Okay.
Just depends on if you want to dominate the list with
Oh.
your choices.
Well, I do like to dominate lists. I don't really know I don't want the 11, but I don't know which one's better of the two. The other
I
two.
I usually want the 9, 8, 5, and 2.
I guess I'll do that.
That's
So
usually what
I-
I want.
Yeah, just take the one
Yeah,
Jake
I-
told you he wants.
No, I will
No,
because I mean,
that's usually what I want.
I love
yeah,
that.
I'll go with that one. I'll go with the 9, 8, 5, 2.
Because you
I'm
get 4
taking
picks,
I
and you
can-
get
I
and you
can
get
take
that
notes.
that chunky middle part
The chunky, yeah. I mean, it's always good to be a little chunky
in the
I
middle.
agree.
in the middle.
Yeah.
I think actually after this long of pandemic, we're all a little chunky in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm always chunk in the middle.
All right. Well, this is fun because I still have a lot more choices. So what does AFI stand for, Jake and Eric?
Oh,
Eric,
Jake.
I pick Eric.
a fire inside, right?
No, that one doesn't count because you said at the beginning. I said-
Oh, well then I
Yeah.
don't know.
Is All For It on that list?
No.
Oh.
Then-
You're close though. I think that I know what you're going for. You are close.
This is why you gotta do like Famous Fires or
What?
something.
All for one. But one, the I is a one.
No.
No, that's not okay.
This is really fun for me.
I have no idea.
Right. Yeah, this is a really bad question.
Okay, I'll ask another one.
My girlfriend actually just answered with an answer that none of you guys have said. If
Oh.
you're moving on.
Well, you know what would be fun if we let her answer, and if it's right, she can pick who gets it.
Oh,
Oh,
if you get this right, you get to pick who.
I'm the
who-
draft commissioner.
What is it? What was it again? Asking for it.
That's correct.
oh!
Does she choose Eric or Jake?
Do you choose Eric or Jake? I know you can pick whichever one. I know you don't know which. Jake is that one. Eric's the other one right here. Okay, so she says Jake.
Wow.
I'll take 11, 10, 6, and 3.
Okay.
I have to. Whatever. I'll pick the number one song. I don't give a shit.
But I want the 11 and 10. I want the 11 and 10 to pick some stupid songs.
Oh God.
So I'm 7, 4, and 1.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm 9,
8, 5, 2.
6, 5, 4, 0, 9.
Oh
Wait,
dang.
Yeah. Jenny.
What is it again? 9,
9,
8,
8, 5, and 2.
5, and 2. 9, 8, 5, 2. Okay.
I'm so nervous. Okay.
This is so fun. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure for you, Eric. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good because I think my number one's good.
Don't fuck this up.
I
Is
won't.
it?
I think so.
I don't know, man. You came in on the Crash Love tour. I'm not sure.
You know
I
what?
trust what you're
And
saying.
that's fine.
Fight, fight.
And that's fine.
Okay.
And that's fine.
Okay.
One more
Okay.
time.
You went
That's
to an
fine.
AFI show and you fell in love with the opening band. I'm just saying.
You know what? That's true.
That's fair though.
That's canon.
Ceremony was the opening band, and that's fair.
Considering that all of us have played more opening band slots than headlining slots, I think that we all can agree that's a great thing.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
you
that's a
played
good
a
thing.
headlining
and you know
spot.
what?
Good
That
for you.
was right after Ceremony put out the what was it, Black Album where it has He God Has Favored His Undertakings?
The Black Album?
Is that's not called the Black Album, is it? It's
I
like
don't know.
California Sun or something. It was the one that was like super fucking heavy and scary. It wasn't Violence. It was right after that. Anyways, it was cool.
All right, my friends. Are we ready for some bullshit? Because it's Jake's pick. We're up at number
Yeah.
11.
Ugh.
Jacob.
See, here's the thing: is I wanted to play around with the 11 and 10 picks here,
I knew you would.
and so for number 11, I'm gonna pick a song that is my second favorite wrestler entrance music I've ever heard. They used an AFI song.
Is it I Hope You Suffer?
It is from Burial's "I Hope You Suffer."
Ah. Okay. I'm fine with that. I like that song.
It's just got a cool, it's very reserved, this thing, and it's got a cool like electronic sound. I don't like almost anything past a certain point with them, but this
Yeah.
song, I don't know what it is with I don't know if it's the wrestling context that is enhancing it for me, because it's like such a good song to use for that.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I think it is the context that's enhancing it. Because to me, I like the song. Do I think it's one of their best songs? Absolutely not.
It's just one of those things where it's like, they would do that shit where they would like start the song and the crowd would just go fucking wild the entire time, and I was like, so this song has this weird like Pavlovian response where I'm like, fuck yeah, this song rocks.
Yeah.
Is that what they would use? Like, would they use it where it just kicks in, where it like pauses before the chorus and then the chorus jumps in? Is that how they'd come in? Because the rest of it's kind of a slow build, right?
No, they would start and play through that whole thing, and the crowd would be like singing the song, and then when it goes into the chorus, the guy would like come out at that point, and so it was like a big thing where it was like, yeah, like, like sing along to the song and stuff. And he was like a deathmatch guy too, so he was always like bleeding and doing like barbed wire and shit. So it's like a perfect song for like that character.
It's also a perfect song for a strip club.
It is.
It is. Yeah.
That's not shade. It's just real, like the tempo.
And so that's why I picked it.
I hope you suffer, huh?
Dominic, how do you feel? Are you going to keep it? Are you going to veto?
I'm gonna save my veto for a stronger position on the list, because I'm gonna have more opinions as we get down to closer to the top.
That's why Jake likes his spot.
These songs. This is why you play these songs on 11 and 10, because nobody gives a shit right now.
You know what?
That's not true.
I'm kind of actually. You know what, Jake? I am gonna veto.
Okay.
Because to me, I mean, I get one veto, and I don't want to veto something that, like, I have decent opinions on this. I'm gonna veto it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Wow.
So in that case,
you do get vetoed at 11, Mr. Drunk Tweets.
So in that case, I'm gonna be Drunk Tweets is a horrible song.
Debatable.
In that case, I'm gonna play the only song I like off of December Underground, Kill Caustic.
Yeah.
Kill what?
Yeah, Kill Caustic. It's the what is this? The second song because there's the intro and then it's
kind of got the most like kind of like hardcore vibes.
Yes.
And it's kind of it's got that cool little like guitar thing at the beginning, and he's actually doing some like hoarse like scream singing on that one, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's one that when Lightweight was talking about doing our AFI cover set, Brian was like, we have to do that song. Yeah. Like that was the only one that he was like, we have to do that one. So like that actually kind of introduced me to that song because I really had never listened to that record, and he was like, oh yeah, this song's really good, and it yeah, I like it a lot.
That's not my list, but I actually back that. I'll back that.
Yeah.
I back that more than the other I Hope You Suffer, which I don't dislike, but yeah, I'll back that.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I think Kill Caustic more so deserves to be on here more than I Hope You Suffer.
Oh, we love a happy
ending. I feel good about this.
Took you a minute to get there, Jake, but you got there. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, you can't speak yet because we are on to no nonsense right now.
We're no nonsense.
We're no nonsense, except for Jake is all nonsense, and he has the next pick. So at number 10, Jacob.
I'll play I Hope You Suffer at number 10.
I love a petty moment.
You got the crazy eyes, Zizou. Like,
wow.
For all the reasons I listed before, I really think it's a great tune.
Well, you know what? You got what you wanted. So you got what you wanted, and it got higher.
He hoped you suffered.
Yeah. You hoped I suffered, and you know what? This is me suffering.
I mean, there was a part of me that was hoping to draw out at least one veto in that pick.
Don't say you orchestrated that. That's bullshit. You absolutely did not orchestrate this moment.
My original plan was I Hope You Suffer at 11, Kill Caustic at 10. But then I just had to flip them. But that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So not what I had at all.
Because we also go over what other picks that didn't get on the list at the end. So I'm excited
we go over
to do
the discards at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah. So unless anybody wants to veto that, that's what's gonna sit there, and
it's fine. Dominic's hand signals say that this is fine.
Yeah,
so
I'm good.
I guess we're gonna move along. And that brings us right over to you, Dominic, number 9. Of your 4 choices, what is your number 9 choice on your list?
My number 9 choice would be A Narrative of Soul Against Soul from Black Sails in the Sunset.
Ooh.
Is that the whole title?
Yeah.
Cool.
Narrative of Soul Against Soul.
And why?
It's a kick-ass song that I think really, it just really exemplifies AFI at that point. I think it's just really strong. It's just it jumps right in, and they're going for it, and I think it's just solid all the way around. You have an incredible. There's a lot of songs on that record that I think represent AFI making that change to this chapter of their style, and I think there's a couple others on my list that represent that, but I think that's a really solid, strong song that represents that chapter of that shift where they were just going into this darker, heavier, a little bit more thought behind their hardcore, and really just tearing up. Like they'd launch into it and people would go off. You're gonna pit during that song.
Yeah.
Jake, you're nodding your head. How do you feel?
Oh, it's a great song. Off of a great record. This is kind of like the first record of theirs that I'm really like stoked on. And it is for the reasons that he said, where it's like, it's got a darker tone to it. It's just got, a little bit more, it's not, and I joked about this the other day. It's not, I want a mohawk. It's, they're actually putting some consideration into this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just a great record and a good song.
Yeah, it sits at track 5 and it just picks up, right
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Dom, the record's really interesting because it does exemplify a lot of these elements of like, it's hardcore, but it also has these really interesting experimental moments of like breakdowns and like heavy, just like the punk beat shit with like a lot of these really intense emotional lyrics. It's Black Sails is a fucking cool record. And the song is fantastic. I completely agree.
So even if you had a veto, you would not veto
I would
that.
not. No, if I had a veto, I wouldn't veto it.
Okay.
Yeah. Just want to clarify.
Very good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That one has that cool like musical bridge part in it too for about 20 to 30 seconds, like towards the end of it.
Are
Like,
you
that
listening
part
to
is
it
so
right
cool.
now, Jake? Are you
Yeah,
hearing it in the
yeah.
background?
I was like, oh, I forgot about that part. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with a lot of these songs too. There's like going back and listening to everything, I forget some of these really awesome moments in songs that I didn't realize like that moment was in the song, or like that really catchy like crowd chorus is a part of this song. I'd be like, oh fuck, like I love this song. That's so good. Like I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's right. That part at the end where Jay just sort of digs in on the guitar sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So
I hope you guys know that you guys are making the list of the first ever AFI songs I am ever going to listen to.
I know.
So,
Get ready. It's good.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good list.
So we'll
well,
see
you
if
should
I
think
like
about
them.
the ones I threw on the list that aren't getting in these positions. There's some good songs.
Hey, well, after we talked to Casey, they sent me their AFI list because they made a Spotify playlist. So I will accept all playlist submissions for my listening.
There's a lot of chapters to this band. You know, it's like
it's
you
crazy.
get a lot of, you know, it really just depends on where you come in. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like. It's interesting you haven't heard them because you could listen to one song and think you got it, and you're like, okay, I'm not into it, and be like, well, maybe you should try a different decade.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I listened to Miss Murder, so.
Yeah, and that's like such an outlier of a
that is
like
a poppy song.
Yeah, because they have pop songs, they have kind of sludgy, sad songs, they have hardcore songs, they have punk songs.
It feels like you guys are selling me a car. All
Honestly,
right.
yeah.
Dominic, we have locked in a narrative of soul against soul. Did I say that correct?
You did.
Fantastic, because you are also our number 8 pick. Where are
Okay,
we
for
at?
number 8, I decided that I should go a little bit older with File 13 off of Very Proud of You. I think that is a solid song. It is super fun. There's a lot. I would actually say that's a song that has a bit of hints at what they would become when you look back on it.
Yeah.
You can hear their next chapter kind of in that. When you listen to File 13, I think on Very Proud of You, you kind of hear where they might go and where they did end up going.
Well, that's the most interesting part is every record has those moments.
Yes.
Because like you have File 13 going into Black Sails and then say, oh, what song was it?
I wish you guys could see Eric's notebook.
No, look at all my notes.
AFI
There's
notes.
so many. What is it? A Winter's Tale is like obviously going into December Underground. It's like very clear, and that was just kind of like an outlier, right? I don't know. I just feel like you get so many tinges, and then like Art of Drowning, you get little small emotional moments that would lead into something like Sing the Sorrow. Like it's just it's cool. I love it.
Yeah.
I love those little moments. It's like teasers.
Yeah.
It's like a little teaser.
File 13 at the time, if you were listening to AFI at the time and Very Proud of You came out, you just think that was just a sick song and you would be going off to when they played it live. But then later you'd look back on it, or you can look back on it now and go, oh yeah, I can totally hear the beginnings of Black Sails in this song. Like it's in there.
Oh, 100%. I love File 13. Very Proud of You is one of my favorite albums by them, just because it does have all of these fantastic punk choruses and like really just, I mean, I think really cool and interesting lyrics, especially for like a young person. Because I think I listened to this record for the first time when I was like 17 or 18.
It's a good time to hear this record.
Yeah.
You know, like
the lyrics,
they're definitely speaking to you.
The lyrics hit perfectly at that age where it's like you get something like Perfect Fit and it's like, oh my God, yes, I get this. This is me. Like,
I can't wait to go
Jake,
listen to this
and for
song.
Jake,
So
who's
good.
listening to this song right
So
now, the call and return at the very end
It is good.
really,
It is good,
really
yeah.
good.
So you like the song,
vocal
Jake?
call.
How do you feel?
Yeah,
How are you
yeah,
feeling
yeah.
about this choice? Because Eric loves it.
I needed a refresher because like when I listened to them, I only like cycled through the same 3 releases over and over again, so I haven't heard this one in a long time. But yeah, this is good. This is, you know, like I said, it is kind of it's a hint at things to come later.
yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's why it has a lot of the things that made people care about this band back in, 96.
Even if the bass tone on this record is not good.
No, I don't like the bass tone on that record. But you know what? There's nothing against Jeff, because Jeff is a great bassist. He did great stand-up in Tiger Army when he was in that band.
Yeah.
He's a solid guy. He's a great musician. But, like, it's just hard. Hunter is such a great bassist. It's incredible. He is so fast. He used to be in a band called The Force from Grass Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And The Force would try and set click tracks as fast as they could go and play to that as fast as they possibly could. That was something that they were known
That's
for.
fucked up.
That's so fun.
Yeah, they would go so fast. So when you hear some of the like that's what you're hearing from Hunter. Hunter Bergen is an incredible bass player.
Oh,
Yeah.
far and above. He's so good. Oh, this band's so good. I love this band so much.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are
you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Because
Is it my
it's
turn?
Eric's turn.
Okay, we're locking that in, right? Nobody's
That's locked in.
Okay. So for this, I don't know. My list is not all over the place. It is kind of in a very specific time, which is surprising because I do like all of their music for the most part. I did want to include something that was more poppy. However, because we got a couple of those later songs on the list already, I am going to put Exsanguination at number 7.
And how do you spell that?
EXSANGUINATION.
Yeah, that's spelled right. That's fine.
Because this is one of those songs that is just like the punchiest, fastest out the gate, just like boom, 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 boom. And then you have that real big build, and then it drops into that floor tom beat, and it's like, bro, stumble, fall into a world that's overcrowded. And you're just like, oh, fuck. Like, it's just like the coolest, fucking punchiest shit. It's on Black Sails, which Black Sails is fantastic, and it's one of those songs that's just drives you from the end of one song to the other song in a really fun, energetic way.
I love bands that do that.
Oh, it's a good song. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like that song?
I wouldn't have picked that one, but I don't object to that one either, because it's much like the rest of that album. It's just a super solid AFI song.
Yes.
To me, this is the sounds of AFI that I think about. So I don't think I would like blow a veto on that one.
Okay.
Because it's like, it's not what I would have picked, but it's not objectable. Do I get like when you pick the number one, can you veto that or no?
If you have a veto,
you can. Okay. I'm just making sure.
You know,
but I
you
mean,
can pick anything at that point.
I'm happy
though.
you're
Right, okay,
I'm happy
just-
you're preparing
just
to
checking.
veto my number one, Dom. Thank you.
no, I'm not. But I'm ready to.
But
if I
just
have
remember how Jake did that, because Jake played something worse.
And I can play something. I can get mean. I'm just kidding. I won't
Yeah.
get mean. But
To. No. It's totally fine. But it's interesting to me that like Exsanguination is a great song.
because
It's just it's not the one I gravitated to, but I thought you're right. It's solid as hell. It's a great song.
for me, it has a lot of just emotional tie to it, because it was the one cover my old band used to do.
Oh.
And we
very
would play all this
personal.
song, and we would cover the song, and it was just like, for the three of us, because we all liked AFI a bunch. It was like, what is one of those songs that isn't necessarily a super well-known song, but it just like hits in such a way, and every time you listen to it, it's like a reminder of why you like that band. And that was the song that we all agreed on, to some extent, was one of those songs for us. So then we were like, all right, yeah, fucking let's cover it. This is an amazing song. And so yeah, so there's an emotional backing to that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a sleeper. It sits underneath, like you. There are so many moments on that album that jump out. Like, I get why your band would go, we should cover this song.
Yeah, right. It's just I mean, it really that call response, like or not call response, but that like chanty chorus with that like floor time. It's just like the coolest, driviest, and lyrically so impactful. Like it's great. It's a good song.
I mean,
love
they were the kings of the call and response choruses.
Truly. Oh my god.
Jacob.
And the falling down a hole. Oh!
That's a thing?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
his
Is there a YouTube comp of this?
probably
Okay,
of Davey
I'm gonna
doing all
Google
of the woes.
Ah!
Because he takes that into everything that he's ever done. Even because I don't know, Dom, did you like Dreamcar?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
Yes. No, I didn't dislike it at all. It was interesting. I'm actually sorry they didn't keep going with it. Like,
Same.
I thought, I watched it and went, okay, this is an interesting start. You really like Duran Duran.
Yeah.
I would like to see where you keep going, but then they just sort of stopped. And I also thought when I heard about Dream Car, I don't know if you remember, they didn't tell anybody what it was like.
No.
So I was like really curious, and I knew that the No Doubt guys were actually, a lot of them were metal and hardcore guys. So I was like, oh man, pairing up with Davey Havok, this could be crazy.
Yeah.
And then I found out that Dave Quackenbush from the Vandals, he had heard Dream Car before anyone else. So I asked him, I was like, so what does it sound like? And he's like, it's a band.
Oh, wow.
Like any other band, but more so. I was like, so is it good? And he's like, what is your definition of good? And I was like, okay.
Dang.
So it's...
See, for me...
But then...
Yeah.
But I know I'm calling him out. But then I saw it and I got what he was trying to say. They were specifically going for a very 80s sound.
Yeah.
And I felt like I wanted to see the band not... And they did good, but I wanted to see them take that and then get comfortable in it and then move to the next step. So like, where were they going to go next? And then they didn't.
That's what I was really hoping for too, because I really enjoyed that first record. I was so excited when those singles came out. I mean, I went and saw them at the Great American Music Hall on that one little tour that they did, because I was pumped on it. I thought it was fun and groovy and like sweet. But I agree. I wish that they had gone to the next level of whatever that was.
Yeah, it's a missed opportunity to me. I think that they kind of blew it. Like, you needed to keep going because they were trying so hard to get the right tones and the right things.
Yeah.
And they'd written that whole album before David even got on it. And then he came on it, and then he was trying to fit himself into it. And I was like, okay, now let's hear you guys as a band. And I mean, I think we gave Jake plenty of time to listen to the song and have an opinion on it. So
now we know if he wants to veto. Jacob, how are you feeling?
No, I mean, I'm going to be hard pressed to veto a song off of that record for sure. It's just going to be, so I'm going to let it stand.
Okay.
Like you're going to be hard pressed for me to like look at a song on that record and be like, oh, veto. That'll probably change the closer we get down.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm fine with that.
Okay, but more importantly, Jake, how do you feel about Dream Car?
I have no clue what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Oh, perfect. Okay, fantastic.
I just learned a fun fact while I was looking for that compilation, which probably exists. So I'm going to find it. Davey Havok played St. Jimmy on Broadway in the American Idiot musical.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know that.
I'm a huge nerd, and I love that musical.
Because I didn't. So personally, I didn't like the musical at all.
I thought it was beautiful.
The only reason I wanted to go see it was because I knew that Davey was performing that role, and I was like, ooh, that would actually be cool to see.
Yeah. I think the play itself sucks, but all of the musical arrangements I think are fantastic.
Yeah.
Dominic?
He's a dude.
I
just suddenly thought of thought of some ridiculous moments of stuff. Yeah, no, I'm good. One time I walked into an 80s goth dance club in San Francisco. I think it was Death Guild or something. I can't remember what it was called, but I went there and I saw that in the sea of black, there was this one guy dancing in full white. He had a white t-shirt and white pants, and he was just going crazy. And I found myself staring at this ridiculous situation. I was like, what is this? This dude is just living his best life. And then I look over, and he looks me in the eye. And I'm like, oh, I've been busted, like, staring at this guy. And then it was Dave. And then he was like, hey, Dom. And I was like, oh, hey. And I wave at him. And then he just goes right back to voguing and having a great time. And I was thinking about that when you were talking about him in a Broadway play. I was like,
I love that.
Amazing.
Same guy.
All right. Well, we are at the number 6 spot, which brings us back on over to Jacob. He is flexing muscles. I think that's what they are. I can't see from here. What is your number 6 choice?
So we were just talking about how a pick or two ago about how great Hunter is as a bassist, and this song starts with just bass, coincidentally. Whoa, how cool is that? And it is the second track off of The Art of Drowning. It is The Lost Souls as my number 6 pick, and that song is just, it's a great tone setter for that record. It's that perfect mix of, that darker sound with like a lot of hardcore. There's a little bit of call and response. There's a big group chorus that I like. It's got that really like fucked up sounding guitar section at the end that I like, where it's like it like goes to like almost like like halftime, and then he's just like jamming over the like drum beat, and it's really odd, but I love it and it's great. And yeah, that's my number 6 pick.
I like Lost Souls. I think Lost Souls is a good song. I mean, Art of Drowning is also one of those records that I think has so many sweet little gems in it. Just song wise, it is kind of a killer. I mean, again, Jake and I had discussed like that era of AFI was just kind of, I mean, not perfect. Obviously, nothing's perfect, but like it was very profound in the way that they had crafted their sound. Because I mean, that's just right around the time of that EP, also the one.
You know the one.
You know the one that
one
we'll
of 10?
that
They
we'll
have 10.
probably talk about.
They have 10.
I know. It's
Yeah, but
I
it's
don't know
the
what
one.
you're talking
Joe.
about.
but it is.
There's
the one.
only one.
There's only one.
Sounds good.
There's no. Yeah, I don't.
Dominic,
What song was I
you
gonna
look
sing?
a little bit conflicted over there. What are your thoughts?
No, I was actually, when he said that, I actually was like, oh, he's right. It's a great song. It starts with the bass. It's kind of funny because what I would have picked next kind of represents a similar thing from a track off that same album that's very bass strong, and I picked it for that reason. But I don't have any objections in the end because I'm like, well, it actually changes what I might do next because he's kind of covering a bass I was about to cover.
Yeah.
Interesting,
Yeah.
because
I'm hoping that's going to happen. I'm definitely playing the game hoping that some slack will be picked up with the rest of my list where I'm like,
Well,
maybe that's going to happen.
Because I wouldn't pick the Lost Souls, but I would have picked the Lost Souls. It does the same thing that my number 5 would have done, so I'm swapping things over a little bit.
perfect.
Okay, so we're good with this then.
I'm good with Lost Souls.
Yeah, phenomenal song.
All right. Well, you picked it, Jake, so I would hope that you're okay with it. Dominic, that's funny that you say that because you do have the number 5 slot. However, before I let you tell us what it is, we are going to go over the list before we get into the top 5. So
Okay.
just as a little refresher, at number 11, we have Kill Caustic. Number 10, I Hope You Suffer. Number 9, Jacob. God damn it. I don't even know this song, and I feel like that Eric is right. Number 9, A Narrative of Soul Against Soul. Number 8, File 13. Number 7, Exsanguinate. Eric, you went home.
Exsanguination.
What is it?
Exsanguination.
One more time?
Exsanguination.
Okay. Number 6, The Lost Souls, which brings us to the number 5 choice, Dominic.
Yeah, I have to say, so far this list sounds like every goth kid's diary
I mean,
chapter titles.
Yeah.
So, an emo kid, like probably all of our, we wrote some of these words.
Yeah.
I'm gonna swap out what I initially said. I'll reveal it at the end, which song was going to be here. But I'm gonna make it "The Boy Who Destroyed the World" off of the All Hallows
Ooh.
EP, which is the best release this band has ever put out.
Yes.
Period.
Hard done.
But yeah, it's that song is just so good. Like, it's such a great title. It's just the drum beginning into just going off. You know, the breakdown. It's just good. It's epic level. It's AFI at their best, and it's a song that will totally get a crowd going nuts.
Yeah. This was the song that did turn me from only being familiar with December Underground style AFI. Hearing this song did the trick. I mean, Fall Children similarly. I mean, this whole EP similarly, but Boy Who Destroyed the World was the first off the EP that I'd heard, and I remember being like, no shit. Like, oh, really? Like, this is AFI? That's cool. Like, I mean, you know, like, I was so resistant to that December Underground style at the time because that was when I was in high school, was that record. And so for me, I was like really big into psychobilly and more into like punk stuff. I know, it's like I was just so into it. And so for me, December Underground I didn't like it because I was just like, this isn't punk.
You're like, this song's not about a Frankenstein. What the fuck?
It really was. It really was that silly. But you're 100% correct. And so for me, going to something and looking at that EP and being like, "Oh, this is scary. I want to listen to this." And then just songs about. I mean, at the fucking Halloween Misfits cover, I was just like, "Oh yeah,
Well,
thank you.
yeah.
Like I'll take it."
I'm gonna totally quote my girlfriend Valerie here, who said this earlier, where she was like, "When you have a release that one of the weakest songs on it, arguably, is the cover of Halloween,
Yes.
and it's not weak, but I mean that's the weakest. It's like these are 4 amazing tracks. Like
Insane.
there's not a bad one on there.
Yeah.
Expect me to bring them up again.
Yes. Oh,
If
I mean,
someone else does.
Wow,
Yeah.
there's so much synergy happening right now.
because this, I feel like I don't want. It's not really a spoiler alert, but I feel like for most of the rest of it, we're going to be talking about this EP.
Yeah, it's just a question. It's just a question of where you're putting
What
them.
order?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Ooh.
so like this is that's definitely the release for them I listen to the most. I just sent to our Lousy Advice group chat that I bought a bootleg All Hollows EP shirt today.
Yeah.
Because I love that thing so much.
Dude, the art on that is amazing. It's
fantastic.
Alan Forbes. He, thanks to Hunter, he got Hunter from AFI, the bassist, got him to do Mayhem on the High Seas, the cover art
That's
for us.
Yeah.
And that's why where we got that pirate girl holding an actual tsunami bomb, and like he did that for us, and it was just so
That's
fucking
sick.
cool.
It's such a cool...
we got the same artist, and I swear to God, I love it. It's Alan Forbes. He was the right artist at the right time. He did also the covers for Black Sails.
Yeah.
And then he did the cover for
Art of Drowning.
Art of Drowning.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I think they made a mistake not going to him more. I feel like they should have kept going. I mean, I like, from a graphic design, December Underground is a beautiful cover with the rabbits.
Yeah.
Some of the others after that, I think the latest one's Crash Love Sucks. Burial Sucks.
AFI, if you're listening, please let us
Blood.
know.
The Blood album sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
good.
the symbols, but like they're just not enough.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would tell that to them to their face.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you
I
might
think
be, Dominic.
that
You
Alan
just might
Forbes
be.
covers are great. I think I heard a voice is just whatever, but like December Underground is a great graphic design. Sing the Sorrow is just whatever. It's okay. Art of Drowning and
It's a masterpiece.
Black Sails and All Hollows EP are great covers, and I think that they make a mistake. I mean, if they really want to blow me away, if AFI wants to blow away somebody like me away, which they don't care, but if they should bring Alan Forbes back for a cover now.
How insane would that be? Wouldn't that be wild?
Well, it depends on what's in it, Eric, because if like they pop it out and it sounds like, bad Duran Duran, I'm not going to be that stoked.
Oh wow. Okay, that's fair. You know what?
But
That's absolutely fair.
But I would love to hear them take some risks with their stuff and really continue to push the envelope a little bit, and and then bring back some of the elements that made them great to begin with at this point. I think would be great.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like, what do they have to lose? They're in this position where they're really popular to people who really love them, but they're also not quite breaking into the superstardom that I think that all of us thought they would get to.
Yeah.
They're a good, powerful working band. No complaints, I'm sure. Like they're great people, great musicians, great band, but I feel like they've been stuck trying to please all these people to be something that will go over well. And a part of me wants to pull them all in a corner and be like, kind of have a Eye of the Tiger Rocky moment with them. Like, look at that hardcore band in the corner practicing in the shithole. See, look at the look in their eye. Look at them. Look at Lousy Advice. Look at the look in their eye. Look at the hunger.
We're
They're
so
hungry.
hardcore.
They're so hardcore. What about what? Remember that was how you were. That was what you were like.
We're not
Yeah.
a
So
punk
now you're gonna get out of that posh trading room. You're gonna get away from these stupid producers, and you're gonna make some fucking angry, dark, evil music. Now
Yeah.
go for it. Get in there.
Well,
Like we're gonna trade you old school style.
because there is 100% a level, like right there at December Underground. It felt like,
punch vegan meat in the fridge. Punch vegan meat. Sorry.
no,
Slabs of
Punch it-
Beyond Meat.
slabs of Beyond. Yeah, it's
Take
perfect.
the Impossible Factory and just have them wail on some stuff. Train. They gotta train.
They got to no. I mean, wouldn't that be just incredible if they came out with another like pseudo Black Sails record now, or like a new version of that?
I think people would
It would
like
be
it. I think their new fans would like it. I would like to see them like kind of take the. I feel like they got. This is the part where I thought that I would get in trouble. I feel like they have binders on. I think they're trying to please people and try and be this kind of band that like checks these boxes and then these boxes and these boxes, and it's like, hey, dude, tell us all to fuck off and just get
do
real
whatever.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like they're kind of chasing the stardom that came to them with December Underground, because that record, they were selling out small stadiums. Like they were playing these huge. They like that was like the peak pinnacle of them being this. What we thought would be this monster band, this big, huge. I mean, they're huge. They're obviously like a fantastically and like pretty big band
compared to all of us.
Compared to us, yeah.
At the same time, looking at them, I look at them
They're
and
not
go,
Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, they're not Fall Out Boy. And honestly, I gotta say, like, I saw Fall Out Boy in the early days, and I was like, "What is this? Less than Jake without the horns? What are they doing?" But like, and they weren't bad. They were talented, you know. And I saw My Chemical Romance and thought, you know, if they got off drugs, they'd probably be decent. And hey, they did. But like, I mean, they weren't playing in time, you know. And then when they got a new drummer and started playing in time and got clean, they got huge. But I was like, I've seen these bands come through, and I go, okay, I see a spark in them. But very few bands gave me chills like AFI gave me chills. Like there was a point with this band, and I mean they could be listening going, hey, fuck you, man, like, you know, like try.
And they probably are.
You know,
I hope so.
I
hope so.
And I understand that there's a perspective. There's things that I'm commenting from, but I am commenting from the outside as a longtime fan and admirer, somebody who really learned from this band. And there was a point where that band would give me chills when they'd come out and play and get people moving. And I know they're older, and I'm not asking them to scream like they once did. I'm not asking them to move around like they were like in their 20s. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, listening to their albums, they've never put out anything terrible, but they just don't seem to be pushing it over the top. And that's what and I think they're capable. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would love for them to have so I consider this is gonna be a hot button thing. I consider Against Me to have a redemption arc where I think they
100%.
they signed to a major and they put out 2 fine records.
Just fine.
And then they then they take the major label blinders off.
Wrong.
First of all, let me finish my thought. They take the major label blinders off and they release Transgender Dysphoria Blues, and they just blow the fucking roof off of everybody.
And they did go over. It did go. Over,
yes.
I want AFI to have that story.
Well, I mean, they were a band for they were a band for almost 10 years by the time they blew up. Yeah. So it's like, if any band could have another arc, like this is the band.
Yeah.
But I want them to stop caring.
Yeah.
You know, and I do feel like Against Me, and I know that you guys, I could see your faces. You went, "Oh, shut the fuck up" when he said that. Like, you guys like those early albums from Against Me. But you have to admit that once she stopped caring what anyone had to say, Laura has hit a new stride with her music in her career and really carried it over and got exciting again.
I completely agree that Transgender Dysphoria Blues did change the Against Me game. It really did, in such an impeccable way. And I mean, also, I'm a little bit biased because one of my favorite drummers was joining the band at that time. Adam Willard, he's fucking fantastic. He's so good.
He's amazing.
But you were saying the major label records, Jake, were less than, and I mean, I'm such a pop baby, so I am obsessed. I still love those albums. I still think those albums are great.
You can be wrong. It's fine.
All right, you guys.
We already did an episode on this. We don't got to do it again.
All right, you guys. Speaking of chasing stardom, this has brought us to Eric.
Yes.
For number 4.
Okay. So I'm going to be controversial yet brave on pod.
Again.
I mean, not really, because it's a good song, but I know you guys might be wrong on this, so I just want to, preface. It is going to be off of Sing the Sorrow. I know, whatever. It is Bleed Black. I think that's an amazing song. I think that song fucking rules. I think it is the right amount of pop. And then there's like weird pre-chorus like tom fills that are like trying to echo that hardcore thing that they did with this like, if you listen like big fun chorus. He's like beat bop beat, and like seeing them play that song live is just as, if not more impactful than the song itself. That's fine.
Jake,
I see your face. Jake, I see your face, Jake.
Valid.
My feelings are valid. And
Stop looking at me.
This song is great. I'm picking Bleed Black as number 4. Or wait, did I say that?
Yes.
Yeah, as number 4. Yeah.
Do you sure you really feel like that is like number 4 on the best AFI songs of all time? Do you really feel like that's a number 4?
I do. I do.
Okay.
It's
You know
funny
what?
that you
I
say
mean,
that. Do you?
I don't
Dom?
think it's a bad song. I just I'm interested that that's your number 4 of all time.
It is.
They're all fighting right now at the screen.
It
They're
is.
all as close to their computer screens as
Mhm.
they can be.
I mean, veto whatever you need to. I
No, 'cause I
stated
don't
my
hate
case.
it. I don't hate it. I just don't.
because
I
I'm-
just wouldn't have. It's kind of like segregation. I don't mind it.
See-
I think you're not wrong. I just don't know if it's. I mean, maybe it's a 14, not a 4. But I
See?
mean,
It's almost like What's My Age Again not being on a Blink list.
But yeah, I mean that's. Yeah,
Mhm.
well,
I don't know. I'm just being salty on pod.
I'm.
but I do feel
Oh.
like people would argue for you. I think
Yes.
people would be like, there are
I'm gonna
people
veto
who.
it.
Okay.
And why is that, Jake? Give some background.
I'm sitting in the same Dom zone where it's. This is not number 4,
You
buddy. I'm
think-
sorry.
You think
This
I
is
Hope
not
You
number 4.
Suffer
He
should
buddy
be on
Yes,
this
I
list
do. I
and Bleed
really
Black
do.
shouldn't be on this list?
I think Sing the Sorrow's not good, so I just can't deal with it.
That's a big. I truly cannot believe that. Like, that's fine. No, it's fine.
I actually don't disagree with you, Eric, about that. I Hope You Suffer being on the top 11 list because I'm like,
Of
well,
course,
that's
yeah.
more like a 21, maybe a 30.
If
I'm
any-
like, I'm not sure.
If anything, Bleed Black should be on here more than I Hope You Suffer. Again, I'm whatever. This is the rules,
the
and you get to play the
game, buddy.
game. I will be throwing up later
just-
out of anxiety and
I'm
anger.
sorry.
I'll give
We're-
you my
we're-
coping
we're too-
mechanisms with getting vetoed after
too-
the pod. Don't worry.
Thank
to-
you.
To use my analogy for every other episode, we're running out of runway here, and I feel like that song is not what's going to help us take off.
Okay, fine. Okay, then I'll move past it. Bleed Black's no longer on the list. I will be crying about it later, and that's fine. Say Miss Murder. Oh my God. What if I said Miss Murder? Would you guys love me forever? Okay,
That
fine.
would be a better pick, to be honest.
Whoa.
Wow.
I have Miss Murder in my top 11.
Do
I'm not
you?
gonna say where, but it's
Oh
not
my
gonna. It's on
God.
there.
I'm excited, you guys.
song.
I like Miss Murder. It is not on my top 11. I
I
don't.
think it's one of their best pop efforts.
I wouldn't argue with that.
I'm not gonna say where it is. I'll say where it is at the end, but I did have it on my list.
I love it.
Okay, because yes, we are running out of space. Fine, Bleed Black will stay off. I am going to squeeze in, because I think that this is where this song should be, basing it on the conversation that we'd had previously. I will be picking Days of the Phoenix as number 4. You guys think
Okay.
that's number 1, really?
You know what? That's you can talk about the song.
This is
Go
so
ahead
fun.
and tell us why you picked it.
He can't veto you. Or can he?
Oh,
No.
Because I'll be up front. I'm fine with leaving it here. 'Cause I think there are 3 better songs.
I will say that it belongs somewhere in this.
That's what I'm
Top
saying.
4.
Because thinking about the songs that are going to go after this, it belongs in top 4 without a doubt. That's inarguable to me.
Completely. Yeah.
You-
yeah.
I think we complete-
you're dropping it earlier than I would have.
Yes. Okay. And that's totally fair. That's totally valid.
There's still time to change that, Dom.
You can change it if you want to.
You have to remember that he has the number 1 slot.
I know. He's throwing me a curve here with this.
I am.
It's a tough choice.
Because I think I know what he's gonna pick as number 1, and I'm like,
Well, because I also want to be fully frank. This is not where I actually put Days of the Phoenix. I just don't have that pick. So I'm making sure that it gets on the list, which I know that it would, but I'm trying to strategize because that my number 4 was not Days of the Phoenix. My number 4 was not Bleed Black.
yeah.
Ooh.
My number 4 was something else.
Wow.
I'm just trying to pick from songs
This is where the
that
game
I-
gets rough, man.
I'm trying to pick from songs that I missed that are on my list that I want to be on the list.
I love how we haven't even discussed the song. We've just discussed.
This song means a lot to me because
and I
Days
know-
of the
Yeah.
Phoenix is about the Phoenix Theater,
I know.
and it's the story of literally everybody who came out of that place's origin. Like,
Yeah.
except for there's this kind of weirdly like poetic setup that he puts in the first verse, but like the later verses are all references to literally the building and growing up there, the ghost stories, everyone going off. It's definitely a very important personal song. So I am happy to see it on this list and on the early side. 4 is early.
If you want to veto it and do it later, by all means.
It's your choice, Dom.
Here's the thing: is I don't think he's gonna play it at number 1. So the highest you're gonna get it is 2.
Yeah.
I love when we stress out our guests. It's so fun because like they get what we go through every week.
Well, what's interesting with this too is how, because I know
I'm gonna save it. You're definitely. I'll just say it. It belongs at number 1 or 2, and you know it.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna veto it?
No, I don't know.
It was in my top 3.
It belongs in the top. It definitely belongs in the top 2.
I know it does.
It's my number 3.
I
Do you
love
wanna...
that you're challenging him to veto you.
I
This
mean,
is so fun for
I
me.
understand it does. I will literally show you my list after this.
This is so fun for me.
I know.
I'm trying to think about this because there's a song in the top 4 that I have that I could cut loose, but there's the rest of them need to be there.
Yes.
And I will fight for them to be there. But now I'm worried about what you're going to do. I don't trust you.
I love it. I love that I've cultivated this sense of distrust.
I feel like I'm watching this drunk driver who's like kind of right staying in the lines, but I'm like, what are you doing?
I know.
Aww.
I'm controversial yet brave is what I'm doing.
I mean,
I'm skating that line. But to me, and again, here's the thing.
You could have picked, there's other songs you could have picked for this spot that I would have not objected at all, and I know they're on your list.
You know they're on my list.
I know. I mean, I can probably name, not in order, what you have coming up.
Do you though?
I mean,
there's literally one outlier that you probably wouldn't guess, but yes, there's.
Well, I have an outlier that you wouldn't guess.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like that I could cut loose, and I can understand because it's just me that loves this stupid song.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it doesn't belong at 4. But maybe it needs to stay there because I might need to have to protect number 1 from whatever you're going to do.
Or
but then
you might
again,
not.
This is also. I'm not gonna be shy about this. I didn't want number 1. I didn't want that pick.
Yeah, that's true.
That is a stressful pick to have.
It's a stress.
At times.
It is very stressful pick.
Sucks.
I am much more amenable to other people's decision making.
I wanted to put you in that position.
Than I am confident in my own choices because I do have weird little opinions about certain songs. And like, not that I'm like, I'm edgy. Like, that's not it at all. I just resonate with sometimes the not necessarily right song.
I resonate with that sentiment because I am the same way.
Right? Like,
which is why we get fucking vetoed all the time.
Yes, it is. Straight up.
Okay, I'm going to let this go, but I am paying the caveat of like, you fucking damn well know this should be higher up on this list.
I will show you the list afterward. I will literally show you my list afterward.
You know this song should be in 1 or 2, possibly 3, but 1 or 2.
It was 3 on mine.
You guys can tell where it's at on mine. That how conflicted I feel right now.
I know.
You guys know where it's sitting.
If you want to, I mean, you can veto it and then get it higher.
No, because there's still room for an outlier here, and I can't.
Yeah.
Dom only
I'm
has
worried
one more choice.
The issue is if you veto it, you're gonna have to be the one that plays it. Is the issue? You know what I mean? Like.
And you only have one more choice.
Well, which is fine because depending on what you guys play, which I'm assuming I know what you guys play, I would put it at number 1.
Oh,
I think we're all kind of in the line. It's just where it should be. But you did kind of a game changer to throw this at 4 when you know it's better than that than 4.
I did. Because I'm a messy bitch who loves the drama.
I love.
I'm gonna let you keep this, but I think you're a bit of a messy bitch that loves drama.
I do. It's true. No, and that is I stand completely by it.
Oh man, this is gonna fuck up everything. I can already tell.
Cool.
When we get to number 1, this is gonna be a fucking mess.
Well, depending. No, it truly is depending on what you guys.
I
pick.
really think it's gonna be a mess.
Okay, you get this, but it has an asterisk. This song is an amazing song.
It's amazing, and I will literally show you where it is on my list after the game.
Okay, so talk about the song because you have to justify why you're picking it for lowly 4.
You have to realize, Dom, we have to strategize out here.
It's a strategy because I got number 4 pick. I didn't want number 4 pick, but I got it, and I had to do it. And it's not my choice. Again, not my choice. I have to do it for the fandom and for the catalog. Unfortunately, that is the case. Days of the Phoenix is such, I think it imbues within itself the ethos of AFI in every capacity, where there is this sort of like I don't want to say the word nostalgia because at the time, I guess in this song particularly, sure, it describes the longing for these moments of purity, of goodness, of sometimes even badness, not even necessarily goodness, but these moments where growth happened, where community happened, where family happened in this really beautiful way. And even just the line, everyone was dancing, like just, I mean, I feel like every time I hear it, it sends chills up my spine. That like right before the last chorus when he's just like, no one can see me. And you're just yourself, you're with everybody, but you are in your own world, and you are just existing in a space that not only meant so much to you, but knowing that at one point that space will no longer be a part of your life. And you're in that in-between of moving past a really, really important piece of who you are as a person, moving past it, knowing that chapter is coming, but being able to reconcile with that understanding that, like, this was for a time. I'll never experience this again, but I'm happy it happened.
I agree with everything you said there.
'Cause
It is an amazing, and musically it brings together all of the best parts of them musically.
Yeah.
It works as just the right amount of pop, hardcore, punk, poetic lyric, melody in their music for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, not the first time, but they were getting better and better at melody. To me, I don't see enough Days in the Phoenix in their modern writing.
Agreed.
I want to hear more of that hybrid that they are responsible for, and it's a great song, and one of their best songs.
I completely agree with you, Tom.
I love when this
agree.
happens, when the thing that should be the number one song ends up at number 4 because we all panic.
I know. Well, I was
Put it at
panicking
number
because
4.
I was so afraid. It's not my number. Okay. Well, that's where it landed.
I mean, that's reasonable.
I think it is reasonable.
My girl's curled up and she's like, Valerie, she goes, that's reasonable. It's like, reasonable. All right. Okay.
See, I stated my case. I feel good about it.
That's one you should listen to, Shelby. That's a song you should
I'm
listen to.
going to because you guys are fighting, and you guys are all on the same page, which is
We're
really
struggling.
confusing.
Yeah.
That being said,
Well, I'm nervous
Jake,
as to what this top 3 is going to look
yeah.
like.
well, we are going to see because we are moving on. Unless Jake, oh, you can't veto. Are you happy with it?
Yes, I'm happy with that. It was my
he's
number
happy
3.
with it. It was his number.
It was my
3.
number 3, so it's
Okay.
one spot's not a big deal.
All right. Well,
Um,
that's gonna bring us back to Dom. This is
No,
no, it's
I'm
Wait.
2. It's Jake.
it's me.
11, 10. Oh,
6 and 3.
I'm fucking up. I'm fucking up.
So it's Jake.
It's fine.
It
it's
is
fine.
Jake. It's Jake. I
so,
forgot because Jake made such horrible choices in the beginning that we had to go through it a couple times. So,
As
There
is
you
the
go.
way these lists work. I'm
This
gonna
is the
play.
way.
I'm gonna play. Yes, I'm gonna play my number 1 here. My number 1 pick here.
uh-oh.
It's not the one that I think you
No.
think it is.
No.
Uh-oh.
I
Don't
don't
do
think it's
that.
the one you
Don't
think
do
it
that,
is.
Jake. You're ruining my plan.
But I think it's a different one.
Funny how this works.
Are you sure? You better be sure.
I just bought a T-shirt that has a song title on it.
Name names, Jake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
There
good.
you go.
Name names.
So it is. It starts with a haunting guitar riff. One of the most haunting guitar riffs I've ever heard in my life. It opens up my favorite release from this band, and as a lover of the season and of Halloween, Fall Children is going to be my number 3 pick.
Yeah.
It's another song that should be higher, you guys. What are you
It's
doing?
my number 1. It's my number 1, but I got to make
Which
sure it
one do
gets
you
on
think should
here.
be number 1, Dom? Which one?
We've just dropped them. We're dropping them. We're dropping them.
We're
We're dropping the
fucking
number
up.
1 picks at 4 and 3.
Just, it just is just like a. I would love to go see this band and see them open with this song because it would just be the coolest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah. Oh, without a
Because
doubt.
it is an absolute banger of an opening track. Like the way it starts. I don't think you can write a better intro to start your deal.
Veto. I'm vetoing it. You gotta put it.
Yay!
Okay, cool. So I'll put the other one I had in mind for this spot then, and he's gonna get mad now.
I'm so happy.
Me or him?
I think so because I only have one other song.
If gonna accept Days of the Phoenix at number 4. I can't accept Fall Children at number 3, and God knows what you're gonna pick, because I know there's another one that we all love that is gonna end up on this list, but I don't think it's better than those two. So
Okay, so I'm gonna put sorry, Eric. Sorry. I'm gonna put Total Immortal at number 3 then.
I'm fine with that's what I want to hear.
Because I think
Okay, well then I quit because I don't know what else to do.
Yes, you do, Eric. Yes, you do.
But I
Yes,
think
you do.
you know I do think Fall Children is a better song, but I knew Eric wasn't gonna play it at number 1.
I wasn't.
So that's why I was saving Total Immortal, because I knew he wanted to play Total Immortal at number 1.
Oh my God.
I don't
Because-
think that Total Immortal is better than Fall Children. It's a great song.
I agree with you. 100%. I think
Oh.
Total Immortal is a phenomenal song. It's got maybe one of the coolest, like, that ending section with the weird, like, where the drum is like the like snares are syncopated with like the guitar notes, is like the coolest fucking thing ever. And then when it kicks back into the last chorus of the song is like phenomenal. I remember Lightweight practicing this song, and it was like super fucking annoying to learn. But it's an absolutely kick-ass song. It's honestly, yeah, it's my second favorite on that whole EP, and it was number 2 on my list. Total Immortal was number 2 on my list. And so that's why I had to pivot to that. Sorry, Eric.
No, no, because again, we love these songs, so it's like it's not that bad, but you do put me in a very precarious position.
Because now the number 1 spot cannot be vetoed.
Well, the number 1 spot cannot be vetoed, but also, I'm gonna get sloppy. I have to get sloppy.
No.
I have to.
Yeah.
But before you do-
That's what I was afraid of.
Well, then why'd you do it?
Oh no.
I didn't do it.
We're
I
fighting.
didn't do it.
I don't know if Lousy's gonna make it through this episode.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm fine. I'm breathing.
But yeah. So
I'm breathing.
Total Immortal number 4.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Number 3.
No.
There we go. Number 3.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Number 3.
Okay.
All right, Dom. It's all up to you. The number 2 spot, your final spot. Eric gets to do whatever he wants
I'm
for number
so
1. So
upset that I'm in this position.
I'm afraid.
I'm also.
Yeah, I'm a little worried.
I'm really
because
excited.
I want to take care of a particular song that I made sure that wasn't going to be in 3 because it deserved to be higher. And if I trusted that would be number 1, I would actually try and find something.
Okay.
I'd go a different direction.
Well, then I could. Okay. Well. Okay. Let's barter here.
Oh my
let's
God.
let's barter.
Is
Yeah.
this
Barter.
the first time
Let's barter.
ever?
Yeah, I think this is the first time we're bartering.
Yes.
So, can you give me hints as to if I guarantee that song that did not get played at number 3 just a moment ago gets
It's a
placed
song
at
that
number
rhymes
1?
with like Autumn Kids.
Yeah, it's like a similar thing.
No.
like,
I know that song. I'm saying if I do my due diligence in playing that in the next spot that I have, what does your song rhyme with?
Oh, am I gonna allow this as the draft commissioner?
Well, I have a couple options.
Well,
I have
hold
a couple
on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Wait, hold on.
Do I want to allow this?
Is it rhymes with or can it be hints towards?
It can be hints towards.
Okay, not rhymes
Rhymes
with, but
with
hints
seems
towards.
a little bit too on the nose for what I'm comfortable with. On behalf of the AFI fans.
Okay, if Autumn Kids were to be higher up,
Yes.
something like that, I could easily go towards the direction of a Mr. Injury or a Lord phone called while feeling a little weird yesterday.
As
Yeah.
someone who doesn't know anything, this is really
I would be willing to put that way higher than it should be, but it is awesome.
So,
Or I would even be able to go crazy with an outlier about imagining film poppy songs. But I'm thinking more along the lines of if you were to guarantee a particular Autumn Junior,
tell me more.
I could go with a Mr.
Tell me more about this film song.
Well, I mean, you'd have to look at a particular album that where you vocalize the sadness. And it would be, sitting in the, when you're vocalizing
I
the
see what it
sadness
is.
and you're going, maybe
Mm-hmm.
towards track 10.
Wow,
But I
I'm
mean, that's
fucking
an
confused.
outlier.
You
but
know
I
what?
could also
I can barter a numeral X moment for said autumnal babies.
Okay. You like that one?
Yes, I can do that.
Wow.
Then my number 2 pick is This Celluloid Dream. Because that is, I think, probably one of their better pop songs. I think it's a great song. When I heard it, I thought that was going to be a big hit. Then it wasn't. But they're doing a bunch of stuff in that song that I don't see. I don't know if it really truly belongs to number 2, but I definitely think that it is a great song that should be in their top 10 lists, a top 11 list, because I think it's underappreciated. I think they're doing stuff that they never did before, but they do it successfully.
Yes.
And I thought that if I heard more Celluloid Dream in their current writing, I would be excited, because it was definitely I thought it was less cheesy than Miss Murder, but really, really good in that same poppy AFI way, that they were bringing melody and pop into their thing. Normally, I probably wouldn't put it so high, but I definitely think it's an underappreciated gem in their discography that more people need to pay attention to.
I could not agree with you more. It is an undiscovered gem. It is also the only representation on this list of that record, and that is largely why I picked it. It's also just a fantastic song. I would not have placed this high, but again, we are in this situation, and we're doing the best that we can. I think Sing the Sorrow is a fantastic record for the most part. I love it.
I'm shocked that it is where it is, but I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, I am such a sucker for that era of AFI. It blends a lot of these really interesting elements for me, and again, I'm a big sucker for something that is catchy and poppy and interesting, and I think that album does it really well. Cellular Dream very clearly does this in such an interesting and eloquent way of blending these styles, but also making it catchy and pop. And like you said, I am also surprised that it was not The Girl's Not Grey or what have you, right?
I was stunned. I was stunned at the time when I heard the album, and then I was like, awesome. And then I heard that the lead-off single was going to be Girls Not Grey, and I was like, what? Not the Celluloid Dream? I thought that was such a mistake. Not that Girls Not Grey is not a great song, but I think if this Celluloid Dream had gotten the attention it deserved, I think it would have been huge. It was a huge misjudgment. That song should have been a total music video. It should have been a single. It never was. I don't know why. I can only think that they didn't want it to be, but somebody must have heard that and known that it could have been.
Agreed. Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. It's a fantastic song. Jake, please re-listen to Sing the Sorrow. Please, for me. Please do it for me. Please.
It'll happen.
Okay, thank you. It's my pick.
Yeah, and honestly, I was going to go over the list first, but I think that because you guys bartered, that I need you to tell me right now
what
your number
is?
one pick
Oh,
is.
it's Fall Children.
Okay,
it's Fall Children by far.
Fall Children, yeah.
And I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, because Fall Children, Fall Children is in my top 4 without a doubt. It was on my list. It's a fantastic song, and for all the reasons that Jake had said, I could not even imagine being at a show where this opened the set. What a treat! What a sweet little treat that would be. Oh my goodness!
It's a better song than the cover of the classic Misfits song.
It is.
It upstages Halloween.
Yeah.
And
we remember Halloween
as a Halloween song.
And we remember Halloween. So the fact that it does that is, I mean, it's true. It is wild that you pointing that out is really interesting because, this classic Misfits song that is Misfits of Misfits is the weakest song on that EP.
Yeah. I know it's weird to say a 4-song release isn't a hugely popular band's best release, but
it just is.
It just is.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
It just is.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 out of the 4 songs made it on the list, and the one that didn't make it is a cover.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the only reason. And I would have put that on, but it's a cover.
I'm honestly surprised because Jake really does throw some weird shit onto
Jake does.
every list. I'm shocked that the cover of Halloween is not on there. Shocked.
It's just because it's not as good as the original, to be honest.
I left it off because I thought we couldn't pick covers. That's the only reason I didn't put it on.
Covers are definitely definitely on the thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because that would be weird to say the band's best song was a cover of somebody else's, and I think that's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's how the mainstream views the Ataris, which is harsh, but I mean...
Ooh,
right.
I mean... Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they don't deserve that, but that's what they get.
but that's
That's their only hit.
it's true.
But I mean,
it's a great cover. It's
You
a
know-
great cover.
See, I'm a Danzig stan, so I'm not going to think that this is better than the Danzig version of it.
Fair enough.
It's just not
True.
going to happen.
But
All
it's
right.
better than any other version of Halloween that I've heard.
That's true. That's
True.
true. That's 100%.
Is AFI a spooky band?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, all of you guys, ghouls and gals, I'm going to go ahead and get this not wrapped, but I'm going to go over the list of all lists, the end all list. AFI, if you have a list, it doesn't matter.
Email us at
I
lousypop.
guarantee they will not agree with this list. at all.
Oh,
And
probably.
that's fine. Because you know
But
why?
I don't but you know what? I'll say this: if they're listening, I don't trust your guys' list either because I've heard what you've been putting out. You picked "Girls Not Grey" as your lead-off single for that album when you damn well know that this "Celluloid Dream" should have been your first single. You know it. You know it.
Dominic is quite literally shaking his damn head right now.
Yeah.
All right. At number 11, we have Kill Caustic. Number 10, I Hope You Suffer. Number 9, A Narrative of Soul Against Soul. You guys really made me type that one out.
Yeah.
Number 8, File 13. Number 7, Exsanguination.
Exsanguination.
Oh, Exsanguination. Number 7, The Lost Souls. Number 6, The Boy Who Destroyed the World. Wait.
Yeah.
Number 5,
Yes.
Number 5, Boy Who Destroyed the World.
Boy Who Destroyed the World.
Yeah.
I don't know how to count you guys. Number 4, Days of the Phoenix, arguably number 1, but nobody could get their shit together. Number 3, Total Immoral. Number 2, The Celluloid Dream. And number 1, Fall Children.
Yeah.
Which,
There are people who are having there's a vein sticking out of
Well,
their head.
so here's what I want to say, Dom. I feel like no matter what list we did, no matter the list, that will with AFI, I feel like it is such. Obviously, there are clear eras where people will kind of gravitate towards clear eras, but I feel like AFI is so divisive in that way.
Yeah.
There literally never would have been a list that would have been like
There
that's the
are,
right one.
There are Answer That and Stay Fashionable stands that are pissed right now.
Oh yeah.
No, because there's good songs on that.
But
record.
I hate to break it to you, it's not a good record.
okay.
It's not my favorite record.
It's not my favorite record either.
All right, well then I guess we will start with Jake with the discards. Jake, what
So
songs
I
didn't
only
make
had-
it?
I literally only had 2 that didn't make it.
Wow.
So I'm just gonna go with those 2, and it was God, I picked stupid titles. The Nephilim off of what record is that on? God damn it. Off of Art of Drowning.
Yeah.
Great song. And then the other one I picked was Malleus Maleficarum
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good song.
off of
Malice Maleficarum.
yeah. Off of Black Sails. So
That
just
was-
be thankful that you didn't have to type those.
That was the first
Thank you.
song they wrote for Black Sails when Jay
Yeah.
joined the band.
Cool.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
and that's just it's a phenomenal song.
It is a great song. Yeah, I mean, because we could do top 11 for each album. I mean, we could argue a lot, or at least for
Yeah.
4 of them. But yeah.
What were your discards, Eric?
So my discards here. I'll give you my list. You guys might be mad at a couple, but it's fine. So my 11 was Of Greetings and Goodbyes. I think that song's fantastic. 10 is God Called in Sick. Number 9, I went with Perfect Fit. Number 8, I went with Wester because I think that song's a fucking banger.
This is a banger.
I love that song. And then number 7, I did Dancing Through Sunday. Number 6, I did Exsanguination. Number 5, I did Bleed Black. So, Dom, I put Fall Children at number 4. And then here's the outlier. I know, here's the outlier. I love this song. You guys, whatever, it's fine. A Single Second, I put as number 3. I think A Single Second is fucking fantastic. I think it's such a good song. Number 2 was
That's a take for sure.
It is a take, and it's fine. It's my take, and I'm brave for it. A Single Second was my number 3. Days of the Phoenix was my number 2. Total Immortal was my number 1.
Okay.
How are we feeling?
Yeah, how are we feeling?
No, that's good. That's legit.
This is how I feel
Days
at
of
the
the
end
Phoenix
of
was
every
your number
episode.
2, and it made it to number 4.
Huh?
I said I love how Days of Phoenix was your number 2 and it made it to number 4 somehow.
Well, because for some reason in my head I was trying to like navigate what these last songs were going to be. Obviously, we kind of knew. Obviously, I wasn't putting a single second
there
up
was
there.
There was a very small list that we were picking from at the end.
Yes, and so for me, I thought, I mean, Days of Phoenix was going to be up there, and for me, it was higher than number 4. That is my second favorite AF. I think it's obviously one of their best songs, for all the reasons I've said, for all the reasons we've discussed. But that's just where it ended up landing in the game of it all.
In the game of it all, this Celluloid Dream does not belong at number 2.
This is true.
I mean, that's the game.
That's
the nature of the game.
I completely agree with you. The Celluloid Dream is
song.
Great, but it is not on the top 11.
I mean, it's on my list. At number 11, I put Miss Murder from December Underground. It's their biggest hit. It's their huge song. It's what everybody knows them for, and I think it's a legitimately catchy song. It's an earworm. It gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
It's solid. Number 10, God Called In Sick Today. It's their first ballady song, but it's epic.
Yeah.
That's one of the moments where they would give me chills, is to hear an entire crowd sing it pitch perfect, all the woes right back at them. As Davey Havok, Jesus, walks out into the crowd. It is the dream of every singer to have a moment like this.
So truly, the reason I put it on my list, the song is amazing, but seeing this song performed live is the reason I put it on my list.
Hands down. It's just
good. It's amazing.
It's an incredible moment that when I would watch them and I'd see them do this, crowds across the country on Warped Tour, anything, watching them walk out into the crowd, it's like every band wishes they have this kind of interaction, this kind of moment, and that's the song. And it's like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry if it's not your favorite song. For somebody, it's not your favorite song, but it should have been on this list because it's a song that's capable of creating these moments.
Yeah.
That's actually the one I thought you were going to bargain me into doing with number 2. I fully expected to go there with number 2, but then you were like, tell me about this film song.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, another pop fan. But Narrative of Soul versus Soul was my number 9. Number 8 was File 13 off Very Proud of You, as we talked about. Prayer Position off Black Sails was one that I really wanted on this list.
That song fucking rules.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I was a little. That's actually where I was a little surprised about Segregation getting on here and Prayer Position not getting on here, because I felt like it's the stronger song. Boy Who Stride the World was my number 6. Number 5 was Celluloid Dream. I love that song. I just do. Number 4, Sacrifice Theory for the bass part. That was the one that when you guys put in, was it Lost Souls for the baseball part? I was like, okay, that does about the same thing.
Yeah, totally.
That I fell in love. I love that song for the same reason I love Sacrifice Theory. I think it's just a Hunter showcase song in that intro.
Totally.
And then they're just kicking ass for the rest of the song. So 3 was Total Immortal, 2 was Fall Children, and number 1 was Days of the Phoenix. And I stand by that top 5, even though Celluloid Dream is one I know everyone would argue with. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, again, I feel like no matter if we even switch that up, there would be other people who'd be like, no, absolutely not. That list is wrong. It's just... And that's what I love about this game, is that it is tense and difficult, especially with something that you really... a band or album songs you resonate with in such an intense and heavy way. I mean, this is by far the hardest one that I've done.
I will say that I kind of regret now. I feel like what I wish I did in the official is negotiate with you and then flipped it on you and just said God Called In Sick Today for number 2 for that chill moment.
Wow.
And then you know what I would have put on there?
Miss Murder. That's number 1.
No, I Want to Get a Mohawk.
Yeah.
I tried. I was in his ear. I was like, they can't veto
They can't
you.
veto
Choose
me.
Miss Murder.
Do you guys want to say, so this was my big list.
Wow.
And then I just whittled it down from there.
That's like my Lawrence Arms list.
Yeah. So there's also levels of me too, because I couldn't in good faith keep anything from Crash Love on here. Like, I could not. But I will say on the record, I think End Transmission is a fantastic song. As a pop song, I think End Transmission is incredible. It's not really an outlier to the song or to the record, because I mean that record is a very particular sound, but that song in particular, I remember when that record came out, in my head I was like, I one day want to be in a band that sounds like this song, not this record, because I don't want to be in that band. I want to be in a band that sounds like this song.
To me, though, it was just such a deviation from the things that I loved about AFI.
Yes.
I don't think they did a bad job, but I definitely don't think they didn't rock my world. They didn't convince me. They changed the game they were playing, and then they didn't kind of like seduce me over with them. I just sort of like they left me kind of out in the cold, in that in the silver and cold, and I felt like a girl, not gray. But, no, I just
I
felt
thought
like
that was
I
a
had
joke.
cold
Was that a
hands
lyric?
and darling, I wanted to destroy them.
Amazing.
But I mean, I forgot that they put out a record in 2007 called "I Heard a Voice." Like I didn't even know about that one.
That was the
Live
live
record.
album.
Oh, that's a live record.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I was like looking. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. And Burials is, like I said, I listened to Burials and the Blood album, and I do not think they're terrible albums, but I stand by what I said before, where I feel like they're just trying to please too many people.
Yeah.
I really want to see them kind of tell everyone, including me maybe, to fuck off and just kind of take a little bit more risks and push it a little bit edgier, because I just don't feel like it feels very safe, everything I've been hearing. I just don't hear them like they're not giving me chills like they used to. Like, and they're capable of it. They can. And during doing this list, you guys pissed me off because I got mad at AFI doing this, and I ended up watching a series of YouTube videos. I guess Yahoo interviewed them where they're talking about their albums they did in 2017, and they made me mad because they were talking about their albums, and I was like, you know that's a great album. You know you did a great job, but you're not doing it. You're just not doing it now.
Yeah.
But the way they were talking about, that was a good. You're aware.
Yes.
I'm not asking you to write the Black Sails Part 2. It's just like, be you, but I mean, take a little bit more. They're kind of stuck in this middle class rock stardom, and I don't know how to help them.
Yeah.
It's like they're on the D list.
Yeah.
What we need is Black Sails in the Sunrise.
Yes.
All follows the LP.
Could you
All
imagine?
follows the LP.
Oh my God.
I don't want to force them backwards, but at the same time, I think that what they're missing now. They had before. They just need to find their way back to that.
Yeah.
They need a bit more grit and a bit more. I don't know. I think it's almost like, I guess, I don't know. I don't want to judge for them because I'm like, it's different when you're in a band. Like I could sit there and go like, you know what Lousy Advice needs to do? It's like, it's really, and you guys could be like, if Tsunami Bomb would just do this, but it's like, there's always reasons for everything. And I don't want to sit there and discount them and what they're doing. It's just that listening as a longtime fan, first time commenter, I just feel like, I just feel like that they're, it just seems like they're trying to please everybody and they're not taking enough of a risk. It seems safe. They seem like they're holding back a little bit. Yeah. Like I listen to an album and I want to turn to them and it's like, is this your best work? Is this the best you can do? Because I bet you can do better. Like I want to send them back in. Yeah. And
I think there's a general loyalty that a lot of fans want to. I mean, at least a lot of fans who have like kind of stuck with it through those albums. They're hoping for another one of these moments. I think. I don't know because there's
all we can hope is that they hear this, right?
Yes.
They hear this impassioned plea, and then in a month they announce The Art of Swimming.
Amazing.
I just don't think but I honestly, knowing them, I don't think they do listen to that. I think they listen to what they see as important and they make decisions based off of that. And to a degree you have to. If I listened to what a bunch of loud people said, I wouldn't have brought Tsunami. I wouldn't have been a part of bringing Tsunami Bomb back with, bringing back certain original members and putting new members in certain positions because it's like it wasn't what certain people wanted to see. But that was the only way it was going to happen. That's how it was going to be. But I do feel like when I wrote our album that came back, it's like I had to consider what everybody knew as Tsunami Bomb. I was throwing so many curves to them. I tried to be true. I wanted people to listen to the album and hear things from each of the other albums and be familiar. And that was intentional. That was an intentional move. And now moving forward, I want to move it forward. But I feel like, I don't know if they see things like that. I don't think they look at it and go, well, some of our most popular songs are these, some of our most popular albums are these, and we have this cult fan base that loves this. I don't think they take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, and you can argue about how much of that you should, because I did disregard a lot of things that people would like. You know, if it was up to people, they would have a particular member lineup that isn't exactly true to who created Tsunami Bomb sound, and I can't help that. So
Yeah.
fuck you. I can't give you that. But I mean, I can give you this, and it is true to Tsunami Bomb. So it's like, yeah, I mean, to a certain degree, I'm sure AFI has their own perspective on it, and they could be sitting there going, we're doing exactly what we want, and I'm like, hey, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, like you said, at the end of the day, it is very much that. Like, if you did listen to everybody, what would that product be?
Yeah.
To a certain extent, if you let that kind of run over what your artistic integrity is and what that sort of compass dictates for you personally, and then as a group, as a band, what would these things look like?
But the three of us, without talking beforehand, pretty much clearly agree on what their strongest era is.
Yes,
yeah,
we do.
Without almost any discussion, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that to me is a certain significance in that. And I feel like I don't feel alone in stating what I'm stating about their later albums.
Yeah.
I still love them, but I do feel like I think a lot of people feel the same way I do. I think you're kind of holding back, and I don't know what's going on here. You know, I don't want you to scream. I don't want Dave to scream his throat out. I know he can't sing like he used to. I know he has to change things, but I don't think that should stand in the way of giving me chills when those four guys are capable of making an audience like lose their shit.
Yeah.
I know they're
totally.
still capable of it.
100%.
Yeah. Just like Lousy Advice is capable of that moment. And I'm going to look out and see you guys do that moment where
One day.
you guys walk out. You guys all three of you are going to Christ walk over
Honestly,
the crowd
Yeah.
as they sing with you.
Those moments are still so fucking cool. Like, because he still does that shit. It's not like a head walk. It's really just like that big statuesque Iggy Pop shit, which is like so cool and so fucking fun. I still love seeing AFI. As much as I dislike the Blood album, I did go to the first show and I did go to the last show of the tour. I went to the Oakland show and I drove to San Diego to see them on their last night. So I was still very much a big fan.
I mean, I listened to the Blood album and I was just sort of like, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like, I didn't particularly enjoy it, but again, that's one person's opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
They still have it. They still have it.
Yeah.
I know they do.
There's
It's in them.
shimmers. Well, Dom, this has been so fun.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
Before we part ways, is there anything that you would like to plug? Is there anything that you want all 12 of our listeners to hear? I'm just kidding. There's probably more than that. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're on our way.
there.
Well, I as you guys all figured out, I'm in the band called Tsunami Bomb, and we have a brand new 7-inch that's going to be dropping really soon. You can pre-order it at alternativetentacles.com.
Mm-hmm.
It was originally going to be a street team only release. It was going to be a gift to everybody on our mailing list and part of the Bomb Squad. We did something we weren't planning to do, where we re-recorded 2 songs, Irish Boys and El Diablo, and
Cool.
we're in a stance where we're very proud of everything we did with Emily and all of our former members. We're not trying to rewrite history. It's just that chapter's over. But these particular songs, we had a more reason in regards, like, initially some people thought we were re-recording songs for Kate, our singer now, but really it was for Oubliette. Irish Boys is a song that she sings, and we only had that exist in 4-track. So this is the first time that we were able to record it in the studio for real. It's something we've intended to do almost the entire band's length, because that was on our first 7-inch, split 7-inch, and we've always wanted to re-record it. And then we re-recorded El Diablo because it was originally written with keyboards, but when it got on the Ultimate Escape, she had left right before we started recording that record, even though she helped write it. So this is the first time we've been able to put it out with keyboards and people can hear how it was originally intended to be performed. And I think it really does affect the song. So those 2 songs are on side 1. On side 2, we squeezed in 2 live tracks from a bootleg recording of us in New York. And it's Take the Reins and Lemonade. And you just hear like what we wanted to show people, like, what does a Tsunami Bomb live show sound like? Like when like how hearing everyone sing along and going crazy. And it was a super fun. So it's a super fun 7-inch. And we were going to just release a limited amount, only available. Like you can only order it if you had the password to get into the special online store that's for the street team only. You had to join the mailing list to get the password. And we sold a bunch of them.
Okay, AFI.
I told you, they were our mentors. They're the ones that taught us how to do this shit. So, but like people were super stoked on it. And so that version is a pink and blue splatter, and you have to join the mailing list at tsunamibomb.net to get it. But when Jello Biafra heard that we were doing that, he got super pissed and bullied us into releasing a version that was going to be out in stores. So you can go to alternativetentacles.com and you can pre-order that right now, and it's going to come out and drop. I think we're going to get them any day now, and I think it's going to actually be released in stores in January. We have so it's called Still Standing, and it's a 7-inch with 4 songs on it, and then we have the last record that we put out is called The Spine That Binds, and you can get that at alternativetentacles.com or at any store. But you can also hear me, because I do podcasts. You can hear me on a podcast called 3 Gigs, which I actually want this band on. So you guys should do my podcast, where we talk about 3 shows.
We're available.
Yeah, I would love to do it.
My favorite 3 Gigs episode is the DBC episode.
Dude, DBC is incredible.
It's such a good one.
He's the bassist for your favorite band, Scattered Fall, and Monstrosities. And he's a singer in Monstrosities, and he's just an incredible guy. The podcast is about like your first show, your best show, and your worst show, and the stories of that performance. And I think that the thing that I want people to know is I have some really cool, well-known, famous bands that are on it, but I also have some people you've never heard of. But everybody's story is fascinating. Like everyone has a story, and come for the bands you know, stay for all of it, because there's many good stories.
Fun fact, Dom, we talked one time, I think we did. I know we did, because I remember telling my most embarrassing story of all time. So.
Your episode is actually coming up really soon.
Oh, is it? Oh, snap. That's awkward.
So your episode is coming in. I would love to have Eric and Jake on the show. That would be amazing. You guys should definitely be guests. But yes, Shelby, you are on it.
It's a very fun listen. I went through and listened to all of the ones that are currently out more recently, and I'm like, dang, like the most professional musicians tell you about their worst shows, and it makes you feel a little bit better, like as a smaller musician.
Everybody has those terrible moments. Because I thought when I set up the show, the whole point of it was like, what is the moment? Like the first show you do is the moment that you're like, okay, this is the moment that everything went right. That this is what made me want to do this. Yeah. And then the best show is why you do this. But then the worst show is that moment that you're like, what have I done? Yeah. I just want to go home and watch Netflix. Yeah. I don't want to be here.
Why am I here?
Yeah, but I mean, this upcoming next batch of episodes does include Shelby telling her stories, but I also have Steadfast from Houston, Texas. I have Sean Osborne from Middle Age Queers, Fallon Walsh from Grumster, and I have both Whitney and Jesse from Days and Days, and I have Darren Pfeiffer from Goldfinger. This is the next batch of episodes that are coming up.
That's sick.
Whoa.
Yes. So
hell yeah,
I would love.
Pretty cool.
So those are about to launch. So if you haven't checked out my show, this is a perfect time to start listening, because I got a bunch of new episodes about to come.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Cute.
Listen to 3
Sorry
gigs.
for that like 10 minute drop. Like
no.
You also have the Monster Candy podcast,
yes,
which I listen to, and it makes me probably angrier than any podcast I ever listened to ever.
Yeah, it is. It is a podcast that makes people angry. Monster Candy podcast is a horror movie podcast where we discuss different horror movies, and you get it features Shotzi Blackheart from WWE NXT, though she wasn't on NXT when we started the show, but now she's gone a lot. But it's 3 of us debating horror movies, and we do not agree. Very rarely do we agree. And it's like, if you're a horror fan, it can make you angry, because somebody's going to say something that you're like.
having an aneurysm during the witch episode. Just about. I probably had an aneurysm during that one.
They made
I
me
was-
so mad. They made me so I love the witch. And
Yeah,
those two,
It's amazing.
I love them. They didn't get it at all.
Yeah, and I was in my delivery van, probably losing my fucking mind listening to that thing.
If you listen to the episode of me talking to them about that movie, you're hearing me screaming internally as I'm trying to explain why they both completely missed the point. But then
That's
they'll
great.
bring me this pile of shit movie like fucking what it was, Dead Heat or whatever it was called. Like they'll bring me some pile of shit and I'm like, seriously,
Amazing.
I will
my
stab
God.
you in the ear.
Well,
I
sick.
don't know.
Well, anything that stresses Jake
I-
out makes me happy.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure it's vice versa, Jacob.
It is, yeah.
Do you think our listeners think I don't like Jake? Guys, I like Jake. He's
Yeah.
my pal.
Also, I feel like we get in little fun performance squabbles, Jake, and I love it.
Completely.
So let's keep doing it.
That's part of our deal.
I think your listeners think we don't like AFI. So I mean,
Yeah, that happens.
We
That
love
does happen.
AFI.
You want to hear us shit on a band? Listen to our Blink episode.
Oh, that's
Honest
true.
To God.
Yeah, that's a
I
rough.
should listen to that episode. I
Oh,
really,
it's a rough
like.
one.
I think so. I drank a lot and offered to fight Travis Barker
Yeah,
physically
on the pod. So it is.
Really?
It's a part
Yes.
of the.
It's
It's a part of the
It's a
it's a
canon.
thing for sure.
That's really funny.
Woof.
All right, we're gonna sign off
Guys, for
here.
having-
This has been such a treat, Dom. Truly, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
coming on and talking
Yes.
and completely spilling all of your AFIT with us.
Oh, I have
here
more that
today.
I'm still for you
I'm-
guys privately.
I'm so ready to hear all of it.
Yes.
But this is the Lousy Advice Podcast.
This was very fun.
Like and subscribe. Give us 5 stars. Subscribe again. Get your friend to subscribe, and then also tell all of your friends to leave us a really nice review or a really mean one, but still give us 5 stars because then people have to read it to get the bad stuff, and we still get good stuff. So you know what? Go for that. Do it that way. This is the Lousy Advice Podcast.
Write us hate mail.
Write us
Thanks.
hate mail, please. I'm gonna stop recording, but we love you. We love you. We love you. Big kisses. Big kisses. Big kisses. XOXO. AFI stand forever and ever. Amen. Bye.